today. Happy Thursday. It is June 11th, 2020. It's 4 o'clock Eastern, and I am really excited to share with you today what's been going on for me in the last 24 hours and how I believe it helps all of us in taking that deep breath in life and being able to reflect in order to grow better and grow faster. As you know, this group is about living that upgraded life and moving into a 2.0 way of living. And one of the best ways I found to take that leap, to take that jump, to get that growth is to pause and to rest and to reflect. Because we can't think well, we can't plan well, our feelings don't support us well when we're frazzled, when we're tired, and we're filled with stress. In fact, when we look at our personalities, if you look at like a Myers-Briggs test that tells you our tendencies in life or the way that we move into things, a lot of times when we're under stress, we actually reverse our strengths in our life. In other words, one of my strengths is being a quick starter, in being a innovator, and being a business builder. But when I'm under tremendous stress, I actually flip, and instead of being a quick starter, I get paralyzed by fear and I can't move forward. So a lot of times in our lives, when we're tired, when we're stressed, when we're just holding on, it is the worst time for us to start being able to make positive plans for our lives. So think about your life. Think about the times that you made good decisions, and think about the times that you made rushed or you made decisions that the outcome didn't turn out the way you want. And when you look at those circumstances, most of the time we find that poor decisions come from stressful environments. Poor decisions come from a lack of peace. So in the midst of this life, one, for us to become an upgraded version of ourselves, for us to be intentional about moving ourselves forward, we have to take a step back. Going slow to move fast is a great way of looking at what we can do to help move our lives forward. Let me put this here, to move fast, right? Going slow in order to move fast means taking the time to pause, taking the time to reflect. And yeah, things may be moving past you. Things may seem like they're moving quickly and you're being left behind. But it's that pause and that going slow that gives you the best opportunity at making the wisest decisions, especially when it comes to relationships in our lives. When we're trying to make feeling decisions, right, emotional decisions, and we're under stress, we're under the gun, we've just been holding on, we haven't been sleeping, life just feels like it's out of control. Those are the worst times for us to make relationship decisions or emotional decisions, and yet those are the times that we're so quick to respond. We're so quick to make a decision. So over the last 24 hours, I've been very fortunate to be invited to an overnight, not a real formal retreat, but informal with a group of friends, for us to be able to take a step back. We carved out time to reflect on our goals, reflect on what's working in our lives, to reflect on what's not working, and to be able to share it with other people. The second thing that we've been able to do in this is that reflecting on ourselves. I was fortunate. I'd taken a lot of personal assessments in my life, but I was able to take a new assessment called the Colby, which I had just never taken before. And if you haven't taken any of these personality profiles or strength finders or any of these types of programs to help you understand yourself, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. And don't just take one and sit there, but take others. Now, you might be like some people with, especially like I think with the Enneagram. For me personally, I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. I think there's so much learning that can take place with the Enneagram. But I've also felt like the Enneagram really, the way people have interpreted it or the way people have used it, it's designed to kind of put people in a box. So, question for you: what types of programs or what type of personality assessments or skills assessments have you done? I'd love to hear which ones you've done, which ones you like. Uh, I am a big Myers-Briggs fan. I've used that a lot, but I've also used others. So this week, what I was able to do in taking the Colby and to have it explained to me and work through, I was able to see new areas of my life that I hadn't seen before. I was able to see some new tendencies. I was able to see some new areas of potential weakness or potential challenges, and had really been able to take that time to take a pause, look at my strengths, look at my weaknesses, look at my potential challenge areas, and really start to make a plan in order to move forward. So that rest, that reflection, I think is the key to upgrading ourselves in our lives, in all areas of our lives. If we just keep moving fast, we keep dealing with stress and anxiety and challenges and just problem solving, it doesn't leave time for the proper reflection or proper thinking to make plans and to make positive emotional decisions about where we want to go. So the rest part and the reflection part, I use a variety of tools, and I'd love to hear which tools you use that help you understand yourself better. I think they're very important because we need to understand ourselves in order to lead ourselves. We need to understand where we're good. We need to understand where we have challenge. With this Colby assessment that I do, I've learned things about my energy levels that I hadn't understood before, about where my energy comes from and how I can use my time in a day to better empower the things that I'm working on, especially the energy draining type of activities. So as you're going throughout your day and you experience challenges, if you're in your day and you experience something that's frustrating or challenging or you don't like, take note. What is happening? Why is that a challenge for you? What is it that you don't like about what's happening? And whether you're a journaler or you just like to think and process or process out loud, it's so valuable to take that time just to reflect. That way, when you have the opportunity to get away and you can shut off the world, you have the ability to look at something and go, these are the things that frustrated me. These are the things, these are the situations or scenarios that challenged me this week. And I want to go attack those things better. But when you're right in the heat of the moment is not the time to figure out how to attack those. It's an opportunity to step back, reflect, and look at how you're made, how you're wired, what you tend to do, what you tend to avoid, and what it's like for other people with different personalities to engage with you. So I have had this opportunity over the last 24 hours to do another one of these times away and to reflect. And what I want to get across today is to encourage you to take that time for yourself. Take the time throughout your days to jot down areas that you want to work on or situations that you see yourself being challenged or stressed or frustrated in. Write them down. And then wait till you're at a time where the emotions aren't as high, the stress isn't as high. You can carve out time to take a look at those and really look at a 360-degree angle at the situation, at your own emotions, at your heart, and be able to make wise decisions in what's going on. Now, here's a good example. A lot of times when we're in a frustrating or challenging situation, our emotions want to make decisions. And we tend to also be quick to defend ourselves. So we don't properly ask a question of things like, why is this triggering me? Why am I getting so upset in this situation? What is it about me in this scenario that is responding in this emotional way? Because the reality is we have situations all the time in our lives. And if we are only positive and good and feeling good when the situation makes us feel that way, we're giving up our power to situations. We're giving up our identity to the situation. We're not controlling and leading ourselves. We're letting the situations ride us wherever the situation goes. So the time to pull back and rest, the time to pull back and reflect and look at those situations and start asking questions that help you understand what and why am I being triggered in this? What and why am I reacting to? Is it something inside of you? Is it something about other people? If it's something about other people, come back into that why. Why is that situation so hard on your emotions? That's where we start to be able to take control of our emotions, our responses, and we can start growing in areas instead of responding to areas. So I want to leave you all today with that. It's a short one today, as I am on this little 24-hour getaway and reflecting. But these are a few things that I learned over the last few days. So number one, you deserve the time. And you deserve the time to get away and rest, relax, regroup, reflect. Because it's the only way you're going to move your life forward differently than the stressful situations that you may currently be in. The other part is the reflecting on you, knowing yourself, knowing your personality, knowing what causes your emotions to go in different directions, and asking those powerful questions of yourself. Asking those hard questions so that you can reflect on what's going on in here, not necessarily what was going on in my heart or in my emotions, but why am I responding into this situation in this way? So I'd love to hear what you all think about it. Hey, James, thanks for the encouragement on the good work. I really appreciate that support. Sometimes I get on here and I talk and I start wondering if I'm really adding value to people. So I appreciate the feedback and response. And anybody that's watched the video after the fact, I'd love to hear your opinions. What is your takeaway from this? How could you, not could you, but how will you apply that into your life over the next 24 to 72 hours over the weekend? Because if you're in this group and you're really intentional about taking your life to the next level, about upgrading your life, being that 2.0 version, I challenge you to take that reflection time so you could start pinpointing the areas that you want to work in and the areas that you need to work in order to make a good strategy and a good plan to move into that next level. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate your involvement in this group. I appreciate you getting your feedback, and I'm here to serve. I'm here to help you. Let me know other topics, other questions, other people that we can bring on board, and I'll do my best to bring it to you. My goal is to serve you and help you move your life into that 2.0 version. All right, thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful Thursday, and I'll see you tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Take care.